Welcome everybody to Red Light Talk with Jaye Wellness. I am Jameson C. Montgomery. I'll be leading the discussion today, and we're just going to keep it loose and friendly here. We're going to talk about various of topics, some about health, some about many different avenues in the world today. And I really wanted to do this formatted style because I think it's just more of a kind of a low-key, enjoyable style where not so much educating, but of course education is the basis of where I do my business. I love educating, but I'm going to keep it loose here today. I have my red light therapy device, hence why we're calling it Red Talk with Jaye Wellness. I got my red light therapy device. I'll be turning that thing on, and then we'll be kind of talking and going through some topics. So if you guys are all new to the channel, please take time to subscribe. I try to bring content as often as possible, but today I'm going to talk about, you see here, I got some beverages here. I got my hydration. I got my water here, but I wanted to talk about kombucha here, beverage of choice today. I'll try to feature a new beverage every single time I come on for the Red Light Talk. Today is strawberry lemonade. It's a strawberry lemonade kind of day. That is right. Let me go ahead and turn that vibration off right now because we don't want that going off like crazy while I'm talking to my folks here. Okay. Anyways, so matter of fact, let me power this thing on and get the red light going. Got the red light going. For those of you that have this device, and if you're watching along, turn your device on too so you can get the red light benefits. So I wanted to quickly talk about a huge comprehensive course that I put together, and I won't bore everybody with this because I'm just going to make this to be the first thing to talk about so we can get this out of the way. But I'm very excited, and I don't want all of you to think this is a salesy pitch. I really have gotten a lot of questions about red light therapy, and I wanted to put this comprehensive course together. It's tons of information. It's probably going to take at least an hour to get through all of the talks, but basically it's a red light therapy course. I've searched the market for it. I didn't see much out there in terms of talking about how it can help you, how you can benefit from it just from having a infrared light therapy device. I didn't see much on the market out there, and so I said, you know what, it's going to take a little while, but I'm going to put everything I know about red light therapy into a course. Not just red light therapy, but infrared light therapy. And I wanted to put it all into a course, and that's what I did. So it's about an hour to hour and a half long course that you go through. I even threw in some little quizzes in there just for kicks. Obviously, there's no harm or struggle if you don't pass them, but I threw them in there just to see where you are, where everyone is mentally with the course. And so it's a great comprehensive course. I'll link it in the description, as well as if you've been following along, I'll make some community posts about it, but it's at the jaywellnessacademy.com. So if you're interested in taking the course, feel free. I think you'll get a lot out of it. Once you take it, take notes on it, screenshots, screen record, whatever you want to do with it. It's fine with me. I'm totally cool with all of that. But I think a lot of you will get good benefits out of it. So today we're going to kick off Red Light Talk by just simply taking time to step back. I mean, life has been, you ever have those moments in life where you start looking backwards, like not in a negative way, but lately for me, I was born in the 80s, but I've been looking back at the 80s and 90s, even the 70s, even before I was born. And I just started like doing that. Oh, what a time. You know, do some of you do that where you just feel like, man, I just wish things were the way they used to be? Now, I don't know if that's related to being an adult, having a lot of things to do all the time, not really having that reset time, that relaxation period of life like it used to be when we were younger. But it's just something about the way things used to be. Sometimes I'm online and I see those videos where it plays that. I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about. It plays that doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, that weird, that I don't want to say it's weird, but it's got that, I guess it's a nostalgia kind of atmospheric, kind of scientific music in the background. It's going, and it's showing you all the clips of how life used to be in the 90s and 80s, and you just can't help. You know, I binge watch those kind of videos. I really do. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'll watch those videos and I'll just like, they shows you the street shots of things. It shows you like the malls and shows you like stores that are no longer there. And I can't help now to see all these retail stores going out of business. Oh man, it's really just frustrating because these are all the stores that you develop that nostalgia, you develop that time frame, those moments in that time frame, and you just feel like, when those go, when they leave, you're like, wow, really? That's a piece of my childhood leaving me. And so it's just one of those things that I think a lot of us do that is because we're trying to fill a void in the present state. Sometimes when you're lacking some things in the present state, you can't help but to look at those videos and try to figure out like why you feel this way and what are you missing exactly. And so I've been doing that lately, and maybe some of you guys out there are doing it as well. But it's been one of those things where it's just like, it's just hitting me like a ton of bricks now. And so I think with all the way the world's changing, all the things going on in the world and what's happening in different countries and stuff, with war talk and all this other things going on, it's really easy to get like distracted. And because we all have friends, family, loved ones, and people out there that we care for and things, and even the people you don't know, you just care for them, and you really want to find some resolution, some peace between individuals. And so here on my channel, I don't get into politics. I don't get on the things like that because I think you hear enough of it, you see enough of it, there's enough out there playing for you to consume. You don't need to go into a place that called Jaye Wellness Studio and think that, this is just not where I serve that kind of content. But I'm free to have a discussion with anybody about mostly anything. But on this channel, it's going to be about not just feel good things, but things that I think enlighten you, even if they're not so positive. It's something you could be dealing with, and so that's what it's about. So, yeah, let me know if a lot of you are feeling that nostalgia, lacking that longing of how life used to be in the comments, because I've been feeling like that a lot lately. And when you think about it, when you consume how things used to be and you're going back, you're trying to minimize some of the stress you may feel in the present. I think a lot of us are simply just stressing a lot. And you all know that I cover a lot of conditions, but primarily the ones with the ears. I think a lot of you are dealing with your ear problems and you're struggling with finding that healing is because you're stressing about things. And sometimes you stress and you don't even realize you're doing it. You're just continuously stressing, and it's just not getting any better. And it's just frustrating because you're trying to live a life of good. You're trying to live a life where you feel happy, but you turn the TV on and you skim around on your phone and you're just seeing all this negative stuff. So it's really hard. But enough with all of that. Let's talk about some feel good stuff now, right? Like we're not masking that like there's danger out there. We're not masking that there's problems out there. There's people having insecurities out there. There's a lot going on, but we're here to enjoy ourselves. We're only here for a short time. Even if you live to be 100, that's not very long in the grand scheme of things. So we want to enjoy our time here on earth with the people we care the most about. And so what I'm doing on a daily is I'm focused on healing, laser focused on healing, because that's what it's all about. What are some things that a lot of you are doing right now to get yourself going every day? What are some things? I would love to hear what some of you are doing unrelated to finding healing in yourself, but what are you doing not just to cure yourself of things, but what are you doing to just keep going? I think we all have these goals and you know what's difficult? What's difficult is if you're that person that's pinpoint exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life. You know exactly what it is. You feel it every day. You get up, you want to do that thing every day. It may be, I don't know, you may have gotten real good at going to the gym. So now it's like an obsession. Like you love the gym life. You love golfing. You love basketball, softball, baseball. You love yoga, whatever it is. Like it doesn't have to be physical. It could be something that you love to do. You love doing poetry. You love doing art, painting. It's sad in the world we live in today. Sometimes, like if you've already pinpointed what makes you tick, what inspires you, gives you that little bit of energy to keep going. And it's like you have to balance that with life. And that's hard. That's hard to do that. It's hard to take something that you really truly love and enjoy, and you can feel the sensation in your body. You can tell, like, this is what I want to do. I don't care if I get paid to do it. I just want to do this. But what's hard about it is that you have to get paid to do it, because if you don't get paid to do it, you won't be able to do it as much as you could if you were getting paid to do it. And if you're like me and you know exactly what it is that makes you feel in a good way, and you feel this energy, you feel this like, oh, I feel an unstoppable energy, this force that a lot of you know what I'm talking about right now. It's hard to balance that with work, trying to find balance in that 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, or the graveyard shift doesn't get enough love either now. There's a lot of you out there working graveyard too. Now, we always say 8 to 5, but what about that 5 to 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning? And so I think motivation is telling you that you have to find a way, make a plan to make whatever it is that you love doing. If you could do it, you would do it from sun up to sundown if you could do it. I think that's why content has become so prevalent in our world today, is because it's a step closer to being able to make what we love doing permanently our dream position. And if you found a job now that you love doing, and you love doing it, going to that office or wherever it is, and you love to do that, and you found that, then you are one of the very few right now that are in that position to do what you love, and do it because you are supposed to do it, but it doesn't matter because you would do it anyways. I think a lot of you too could definitely heal yourself from a lot of health challenges if you were simply doing what you were placed here on earth to do. And I always say this little saying: created to create. We all are created to create something. It doesn't matter if the others don't know what reason is why you're creating this or why you're creating that. We were all put here on this earth to create something. And if you're not creating that thing or that something every single day, or doing it enough to fulfill you, you're going to feel this lack. That lack is going to then turn into the body's way of kind of challenging it, and channeling this feeling. And so if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or what you would love to do, or what you're destined to do, your body is going to react in ways that it's like unforeseen to you and everyone else. And so I think a lot of you that are visiting my channel and other channels out there are definitely feeling the effects of not living within your, living that purpose, that sole purpose that you were meant to do. And the body starts deteriorating because it's not in its safe zone. It's not in its environment. A lot of you are working jobs right now where you're like, when I leave this job, I can't wait to get away from this place. I can't wait to drive down that street and leave all my duties behind. Forget that title. Don't call me that. I am not this. I am not a customer service rep. I am not I can't even give you one on the top of my head, but whatever it is, whatever title you hold, accounting supervisor, whatever, when you leave and you walk out that door, if that title doesn't follow you with pride, with grace, then you're not in your right position. You're not in the right energy. And the only way to get in the right energy is you have to get into the right perspective, the right zone of where you were intended to be. Otherwise, you're going to leave that building or wherever you are doing your thing, and you're going to say, hey, don't talk to me. I'm not that. I'm not here right now. It was funny when I used to work in an office. I don't work in an office anymore, thankfully. I used to work in an office. When people would go on PTO, it's funny. I thought it's fine. But when people would be not in office, or they're on quote unquote PTO, or, unavailable, it was funny to me that even if you had a quick question, now some of you might have your own opinion about this, but it is what it is. It was like they treated PTO like the person is deceased. And I get it. When you're not in the office, I get it, the whole notion. Okay, I'm not in the office. I'm not here. please don't bother me. I don't want to hear about work. But I would kind of like challenge that a little, because I would say this: if you're really enjoying what you do, you don't mind a friendly text asking maybe one question or suggesting something. Like, if you're at that point right now when you're on PTO and you're like, I'm dead to everybody, don't talk to me, unless you're getting worked nonstop, no breaks, no lunch, no time to breathe, there's something a little off there. Because for me, I would say, if I enjoy what I'm doing and I'm on PTO, and let's say I'm leading the ship over where I'm at and I'm on PTO, if you have a question, as long as I'm not in a place where I have no network or in a very busy meeting or somewhere where I can't answer, and even then I just won't answer you, you can ask me something. I mean, you can say, like, you can ask something. You can ask me a life question. Just because you're on PTO, I'm not like, you know what I mean, unavailable to you as a whole entire person. I mean, it's just, and I think we built that narrative, and I think it's so, you know, like, again, there's a thin line between let me live my life and work. I get it. I'm not saying to cross those boundaries. I'm just saying that it was emphasized so highly that if the person was not in that office, and these people were also important too. They weren't, you know, they were people that you needed to ask them questions, because they were leading, you know, some of the roles there, some of the I can't even think, I'm losing my words now. But basically they were guiding in leadership. So, you know, you have to kind of like, that's why I was losing words. I was losing energy. Let's get another 15 minutes going. But some of these people were in leadership roles. And it's like, they even told me, you know, we're available if you need anything. And it was weird. And so I had this office environment where it was like, if that person was on leave or PTO or something, you can't say anything to them. They're like, don't talk to them, don't text them. It's like, whoa, chill. They told me I could text them, you know. But anyways, I just think that was just that was just a story that popped in my head out of nowhere. But it was just one of those things where I'm like, if I really love what I'm doing and you have a question, I don't mind answering that question. Because if I'm really busy, I just won't respond right now, and that's fine. But we really got to all try our best to get into our place of our environments, our place of security, you know, where we feel empowered. Because a lot of you are in roles right now where you're just like, why am I here? What am I doing here? I don't belong here. I'm only here for this, or I'm only here for that. I'm only here for this insurance, or I'm only here for this paycheck. Or I'm only here because I do like this person, so I don't want to let them hang. You know, this manager has been having my back, so I kind of just need to stay here because I want to have their back. You know, life is it's so valuable. It's just extremely valuable. And I just think I'm not going to say we take for granted, but maybe we, in the time of work or in the time of our minds on other things, we just don't understand how, like, every second matters. Every second matters that we lose, or every second matters that we're not utilizing to our objectives. And so I am very blessed and fortunate that I have this channel to express myself. And it doesn't cost me anything. It does cost time, but this is the time that's worth my time. This time is worth my time. So it doesn't cost me anything. And so I think we need to align what's worth our time versus what is just time we're willing to lose. And that's where a lot of you are so willing to lose your time for things you're not fully committed with. You're just like, I have extra time. So what if you have extra time? Use that extra time for something you enjoy, you know? And so we always say I have extra. But that extra is still needed time. It's not time that can just be thrown away. Like, you still need it. You know, and so time is very valuable to me, and I will always value my time, but at the same time, I want my time to matter in something, not just for me to benefit, but for someone else to benefit. And that's the goal. Finding something that benefits not just you, but benefits someone else or some others. So that way it was time well spent. So that's like food for thought. But yeah, that's just like my ramble about that. The other thing is we're getting to the hotter weather, warmer weather, springtime, time where everybody wants to get out and do things more. But then you got these nagging health challenges. Now I have a health challenge now. And a lot of you are in that position. You can't get excited about anything because you're just feeling like, why? I'm dealing with something. And I think that very thought alone is keeping you down. I read some books. I tried to read more, but it's very hard to sit and find time to read, especially with 2 kids that are like needing constant interaction. But whenever I do get a few minutes to read a couple of chapters here and there, it's very important that our mind should always be in the future perspective. Meaning that if there are things that you feel lack of, things that you're longing for, good, you should already speak as if those things are right in front of you. So for example, if spring and summer and those things, like spring, summer and all that stuff equals like getting out, doing things, beach, this, that, and another. That stuff would be enjoyable to someone that, let's say, it's ready, you know, they're in a good job, they have a good family, they have a good relationship, they have all these things, so they're like ready for that. But it might not be so much for those people out there that don't have that relationship intact, don't have that job, don't have that money, don't have these. Like, it's different. The lens, the vision is different for 2 different individuals. But for that individual that feels that way, they feel like I don't really anticipate stuff as well because I know how much I'm not doing now. I tend to do that sometimes. And I don't know if some of you do that. I can't get on the same excitement level as sometimes with people that are like, oh yeah, my cruise is coming in the next month or 2 months. Because I'm thinking of all the things I don't have in order now. And that prevents me to enjoy or possibly attract those things in the present state. So I tend to look what I have and say, I can't really enjoy that future date because my present date is all messed up. And I think I have to really learn to say or tell myself that my future state doesn't equal my present state doesn't equal my future state. And I think that is something we all need to train ourselves to do on a daily basis, not just with enjoyable trips, but like just simple things. Oh, I can't play basketball with you guys today. I'm way out of shape. Or I can't go to the gym because I haven't had enough practice gymming it by myself to not look silly when I go to the gym with all of you. Like, we always find something that's not structured well in the present to prevent ourselves from doing that future thing that we've been asked by others or, to do. I can't go manage that team because I don't do well in the position I am right now. And I think that prevents us to do well in the future. And I'm guilty of that. My biggest thing is like if everyone's gearing up for the summer and getting all excited about the waves and the ocean life, the beach life, I'm thinking, I got a lot of assignments that I haven't completed yet today. And I think we all need to take a step back and say, you know what? It's not about always just like your life can change in a heartbeat. And we have to keep telling ourselves that. I have let down a lot of future events, just simply judging that future by my present, circumstances. And then when I get to the future of that event, I go through with it, and I eventually go within everybody else's speed, and I'm doing it. Now I'm there in that event, and now I'm doing it for the next thing after that. Now I'm thinking, well, I can't wait till this thing is over so I can get into the things I need to do and finish and complete. And then if you do that enough times, you do that at a long enough period of time, you will look in the mirror and you'll say, whoa, where was life? Where was I when life was going? And where the heck did that come from? Where did that, you'll start to be like, that's what they mean when life passes you by. So it's really a thing that that I'm working on too. Close the books up and go. Do what you can do right now, and don't judge the results of whatever you're doing now by your present satisfactions. And that's really important for me to remember that. And so I definitely come to all of you today here with just reminding all of you that if you're having health challenges, you're having issues with work, job stuff going on, you can't stand your supervisor or you can't stand your hours, just know that you're only one change away from everything changing. I mean, think about that, what I just said there. One major change, you're one change away from changing everything. Because you yourself do not know. You do not know the I can't talk now. I'm like getting excited. I'm like, words are just coming out. You cannot judge the magnitude of that change that might change everything. You're thinking breadcrumbs in your head, but the change that's coming to you could be so big that it changes everything for you. Depending on whatever it is. It could be someone from your past can come to your future or your present and say, hey, I have this great idea, or I have this thing that's just for you. You don't know what it is. You don't know how big the first change and only change is that can change everything. See, your mind is so distinguished to think you need 100 moves to change 100 things. But that's not always true. And that's how my mind thinks. If I have 100 problems, I think I need 100 questions to answer those problems. I try to match the resolution to the questions or the problem. The resolution to the problem, a 1-to-1 ratio, that's not always necessary. You can have 100 problems, but one solution can cover all of those problems. It happens all the time. Let me give you an example. So if I lost anybody out there, if you have problems getting your car fixed, problems with, seeing your child maybe doesn't live in the same state as you, and you have a car problem, so it's hard to drive to your child. You're not with that mother's child anymore. What if someone offered you a position in a role that you love and offer you a substantial amount of money to do whatever the thing is that you already enjoy doing that you would do for less today? That would take care of getting a new car. That would take care of being able to provide an opportunity for you to commute to wherever your child is. And that would solve 3 problems with one opportunity, one change. And so I think our mind thinks that everything is a 1-to-1 ratio. So we overwhelm ourselves because we think we need to find all 100 of the solutions to solve 100 of the problems. And that's not always true. And most of the time it's not. So if you just make 1 or 2 good changes that happen for you, you'd be surprised that you'll take off a lot of those layers that were gripping you so tight and preventing you from living the true life that you want to live and the true life that you deserve. So if you got anything out of this message today, this was just talk 1 of just enjoying life to the fullest, because it can be a crutch to do so in this day and age. I know it has been for me. Find the things that you already have done, things that are already making you feel great, and expand on those things. Put the energy on those things and those things alone. Show that satisfaction, show that appreciation, and you'll start attracting more things through your work, your effort, your diligence, your patience, your good nature. Show appreciation in the present, and you'll start bringing in all those good things, and you'll start satisfying a lot of your needs by just making simple changes. I hope this video was very helpful for you. This concludes the first episode of Red Talk with Jaye Wellness. I'm Jameson C. Montgomery. I will try to make a point to do these often. I really enjoy just talking off the cuff to all of you. It's enjoyable sometimes. Sticking to a mental script of covering all the details can get kind of, it can get kind of overwhelming when you're trying to make sure you convey every piece of educational information and knowledge to convey to an audience. It can be kind of, you just want to make sure it goes well. This is great to let everything out and invite others to do the same. Take care, everybody, and I will catch you in the next episode.